The day I wound up in front of a judge trying to justify why I'd buried the HOA clubhouse entrance under a 6-foot wall of snow, I realized life in Meadowbrook Heights wasn't going to be anything like I'd pictured. My name's Aaron Edwards, 34 software developer, remote worker, figured I'd found my forever spot when I bought that 3-bedroom colonial in Buffalo. The roof was solid, the street was quiet, my German Shepherd Duke had more room in the backyard than I ever did growing up. Honestly, for a moment there, I thought I'd finally made it. Turns out nobody warns you about what really comes bundled with homeownership. Sure, you get the mortgage, the grass, the busted gutters, but they never mention the HOA president with a clipboard for a sword and a face set on judgment. Patricia Winters. She appeared on my porch one frigid Tuesday morning in January, as Buffalo was busy disappearing under nearly 2 feet of fresh snow. There she was, 7 a.m., hair like a frozen helmet, North Face jacket zipped up to her chin, handing me a piece of paper like she was serving a warrant. She barely let me speak. Aaron, this can't wait. According to Section 14, Paragraph 3, all homeowners are required to help with community maintenance during emergencies. She wanted me to plow the whole HOA parking lot by the clubhouse. Not my sidewalk, not my driveway, the entire lot. And if I said no, $500 a day in fines, just like that. Didn't matter that I used my truck and plow for my side gig making ends meet in a Buffalo winter. You agreed to the bylaws when you bought the place, she snapped, turning on her heel, nearly slipping on the ice. I watched her drive away in that perfect white Lexus tires, crunching, feeling my blood pressure spike. Frustrated, I called Steve, neighbor friend, property lawyer. He looked up the bylaws. Yeah, she's got a foot in the door, but it's written so loose, she can twist it however she wants. You can fight it, but it'll cost you. They count on that. My morning was spent plowing driveways for folks who actually paid $800 by noon. More calls pouring in and that HOA threat still hanging over my head like a snow-heavy branch ready to snap. By 1 o'clock, I figured I'd better go see this infamous parking lot. 40 spaces buried under a white blanket untouched. Clearing it would eat 2 hours of billable time. But then I noticed the walkway, the one leading from the lot to the clubhouse doors, framed by fancy shrubs and lampposts. I started plowing, and instead of shoving the snow to the sides, I piled it right in front of the entrance. Push after push, the mound grew 3, 4, 5 feet. By the time I was done, every parking spot was clear, and the front doors looked like they'd been hit by an avalanche. It didn't take long. My phone blew up. Aaron, what did you do? Patricia's voice could have shattered glass. You blocked the entrance on purpose. I stayed calm, told her I'd cleared the lot just like she ordered. If she wanted the snow moved, she could pay my rate $300 an hour. She hung up threatening police and bankruptcy. The rest of the day I plowed more driveways, made another grand, and felt that strange sense of satisfaction you only get when you fight back against nonsense. But I knew Patricia wasn't finished. That evening, while I was sprawled on the couch with Duke, 2 Buffalo PD officers showed up. Mr. Edwards, did you block the clubhouse entrance? I explained, showed them the HOA letter and photos of the cleared lot. One cop shrugged. This is a civil matter. Snow's not property damage. It'll melt. If they want it moved, they can hire someone. For a moment, I felt relief. But the real storm came the next day. Certified letters from the HOA tacked to my door. Fines for willful property destruction, failure to comply, conduct unbecoming. $2,000 due immediately. Then more letters. My grass too long last fall. My trash cans left out Christmas lights still up in January. Patricia had scoured the records for every minor infraction she could dig up. The total over $5,000 in fines. I took the whole stack to Steve. He shook his head. Most violations way past any enforcement deadline. This is clear retaliation, Aaron. I'll take your case pro bono. For the first time in weeks, I felt hope. Steve had seen enough of Patricia's power trips. The board hearing was set for the next Wednesday. The irony, someone, probably Patricia herself, had hired professionals to clear the snow after all. I walked into the clubhouse with Steve beside me. The place was packed with neighbors, eager for drama, Patricia at the head table looking like she'd swallowed a lemon. Steve laid out our case, demanded labor under threat, sudden fines from months back, clear abuse of authority. Margaret Chin, the board secretary, a petite, soft-spoken woman, looked straight at Patricia. Are these violations even within the window for enforcement? Patricia tried to deflect but couldn't. Then Robert Palmer, a contractor on the board, weighed in. If the HOA tried to make me fix the roof for free, I'd be furious. That's not community, that's exploitation. For the first time, Patricia was on the defensive. The tide shifted, neighbors started murmuring agreement, a couple even clapped. Patricia moved to delay the hearing, but Steve stood his ground. You wanted this meeting. Let's vote now. After a tense silence, Margaret motioned to rescind all fines and review the bylaws for abuse. Robert seconded. The board voted, 3-2 in my favor. Patricia's face burned red, but it was done. The fines were gone and the snow mountain at the clubhouse. Already a puddle, no harm done. I went home lighter than air, Duke bouncing at my side, feeling like for once common sense had won out. Funny thing is, the whole mess left me with more than just a victory. It made me realize how important it is to stand up even when it feels like you're alone. Sometimes the rules meant to protect us get twisted by people looking for control. And sometimes all it takes is a little pushback and the support of a few good neighbors for justice to finally catch up. Now I find myself asking, where should the line be drawn between helping your community and being forced to give up your time, your work for free? When does leadership become bullying? Maybe you've seen it at work in your town, or maybe right there on your own block. I'd love to know what you think. Has your HOA ever gone too far, or have you stood up to unfair rules before? Drop your thoughts below, share your stories. Let's talk about where real community begins and ends. And if you made it this far, give this a like, and let's get the conversation going. Maybe the next time someone tries to bury you in nonsense, you'll remember you're not the only one digging out.